Amsterdam, and we're here with Bas Bergmans from BrickEX. How are you doing, Bas?
Hey Wessel, yeah, I'm very well. Thank you so much for having me.
All right.
Nice to see you again.
Yes, BrickEX. What can we expect from BrickEX? Dutch ICO, eh?
Yeah, so BrickEX is a marketplace to trade real estate, and particularly real estate asset-backed tokens. Asset-backed tokens, as you may or may not know, are tokens that represent an economic value of a piece of real estate, and that value is determined by its value of that piece of real estate and the rental income. I like to say it's the Dow Jones of real estate trading.
Right, so it's a platform and you want to attract like investors, real estate investors to come to that platform.
Yeah, so actually we like to attract the masses and institutions. Think of this, if once you start tokenizing a real estate asset, you create instant liquidity because the whole pool of investors changes. With a tokenized asset, the value of the asset may be 40 million, but if you create like 20,000 tokens that represent this value, the value changes and you can actually access a group of investors that have a much smaller capacity to invest, but are still interested in the high return opportunities.
So actually, what's actually the problem you're gonna solve with this solution?
Actually, I think there are several problems. For instance, liquidity. If the platform operates efficiently, we create instant liquidity, and in a market that's usually illiquid. Right, real estate is an illiquid asset, but once you tokenize it and you start trading it, it becomes liquid. Yeah. We also solve an issue of locked-in value. This building, for instance, is like worth 40 million. Or actually, I talked to I was presenting here recently, and then I said like it's 60 million, and he said like, well, no, it's 80 million because the actual owner was there. So, well, imagine this is 80 million. This is only 80 million for the people that actually can afford to put a proposition to buy this, right? So there's a small group of buyers. If you start tokenizing this value, to unlock this value, the whole proposition changes, and maybe the actual value is then 90 million. Think of it. At the moment, if you have 80 million and you invest in this building, then the return is 14%. But 12% is still a very nice return on your investment. If you have a large investment sum, you can negotiate a lower price. If you don't have a large sum of money, you cannot negotiate this price. But so you will settle for a lower return, let's say 10% or 12%. Which means the actual seller gets a higher value. These are type of solutions. Yeah. Also think about the typical like disintermediation, taking away attorneys, notaries, brokers, etc. in the real estate industry. Paper trail, yeah. And accessibility. So this is only like real high profitable real estate opportunities are only available for people with large sums of money. If you tokenize this or fractionalize this, it's a whole different pool of investors you talk to. So we give access to small ticket investors that also want a higher return of investment.
Right.
Yeah.
Of course, real estate as an asset is highly regulated, also in the Netherlands. How do you see that topic of regulation? I mean, to cut all these buildings in pieces?
Yeah, so that's actually a very good question, and it's complicated, and we have lots of legal support in the team. But think of us as an exchange. So we should be, for everywhere we trade, in every jurisdiction, we should be regulated as an exchange. But we don't necessarily need to be regulated as the authorities of financial markets here in the Netherlands want you to be. Because we work with commercial real estate partners that actually are already regulated, that already have gone through this whole approval process and this whole regulatory requirements. So when we deal with a partner in the US, or we deal with a partner in the Netherlands or Germany or Singapore, they need to be regulated within their jurisdiction. And we are the platform facilitating the trade.
Sounds good. And actually you're doing a token sale now, so what is actually the soft and hard cap of this?
Yeah, the soft cap is 2 million, and I have to admit that that's almost self-funded. This project is going to happen one way or the other, so we are more looking at the token distribution. So we are already building an MVP, and we already sort of working with the development team on delivering the real estate exchange. I think we released a demo about the exchange, how it works, so you can already see we're progressing this. The hard cap, though, that's not self-funded. It's at 27.5 million at the moment. And the token sale itself, we are in a private sales momentum at the moment, where we give a bonus or a discount on the token. The actual crowd sales start on the 31st of October. That's where we have set it. It has changed a few times. I think we all recognize that the momentum in the market needs to be good for this as well, to make sure that you have a good distribution of your token. At the moment, it's set at the 31st of October, and that's where we work with at the moment.
Last question. I mean, you guys have a pretty good track record, in business. What's your personal motivation to be in this space? I mean,
that's another interesting question. So I did this professional work in advisory service and transaction service for 10 years. Then I started my own business. We built, with a group of industry experts, we built quite a sizable business, 5th largest importer of LED lights into the US. That was sold in 2016, and then I basically took sort of a step back, looked at my life, and say like, okay, what is sort of new thing I want to do, right? Sort of, I think everybody dreams to still do something that goes beyond their own imagination. I had been investing in real estate before. I have a small personal portfolio. I'm interested in real estate. I see that as a wealth builder for individuals. And one of my best sort of friends and business partners, Jeroen de Rijer, he was the founder of BrickEX Fund, and I was an early investor in BrickEX Fund. And he built a very successful sort of not blockchain-based platform for fractional real estate investment. That was successful, so we sort of came together. We say, okay, what is the next level of this? Integrating technology, integrating like a global proposition instead of having an sort of real estate platform in the Netherlands. And I think that's where we started to sort of think through BrickEX as an opportunity. And we saw the technology, we saw the asset class, we saw our our next 40 years of like professional life, and that's what brought me here. Having that said, obviously I started investing in bitcoins and all sort of kind of currencies some time ago, and I think everybody got attracted by the hype and the interest and the means around this. So yeah, I think it's a beautiful space.
Yeah, thank you very much, Bas. And people go to BrickEX.io. You see all the details of this interesting project.
Thank you, Russell. Great, thanks.